Hello, my name is Silla Avjul. I grew up in between countries, actually. So I spent half of my life in Turkey and half of my life in the United States throughout elementary, middle, and high school. I've been in Albuquerque for the past 7 years. I work as the program manager for Global Ties Albuquerque, which is based in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have a lot of duties as program manager. It starts at the proposal state. My first duty is to submit proposals to the US Department of State, as well as national program agencies, promoting Albuquerque as a local resource for world leaders who are coming through. So that is my first job. My second job, once that proposal has been approved, is to arrange professional and cultural meetings for each group, depending on their specialties, which also match US foreign policy goals. So that's my second job. My third job is to, once those are arranged, is to arrange hotel and transportation for these people to stay in, meals for these people to, for these visiting world leaders to, have some taste of cultural food from New Mexico. Again, transportation to make sure that they get to their meetings on time, to get to their meals on time, as well as some volunteer activities. I will always have a clear agenda with very full details to give to the world leaders that are coming to our city, and I will give it to them at the airport. And if every single detail is on that agenda, including like when the bus driver is coming, what time we're having lunch, and addresses and websites and phone numbers and email addresses for our local speakers, and to see that the people who are coming after their meetings with their local resources are having a good time and really enjoying their conversations and their cultural activities, and that they feel welcome and that they feel like they can relate to us to a certain extent. That's when I know that it's a really successful program. Like I said, I grew up between countries, and my parents are from Turkey, and I was born in the United States. And I was very, very much raised multiculturally, and I had always been interested in meeting new people from around the world and finding common ground because there is so much diversification in our world today, as it has been throughout history. In high school, I was in Turkey, and that's when the Syrian war broke, and it really made me think about what I want to do in the future and where I want to be and how I want to help and provide and what can I give to this world. And it's a lot of questions to be thinking as a high school student, living, right few kilometers away from the war zone. And I think high school and college, early college, is a really good place to discover yourself and your desires and how you want to contribute to the world. Because I think we all have a purpose, and I was just trying to figure that out. So I had a very deep conversation with my mother, and she was like, "Look, things aren't going very well here, and I'd rather for you to go to college in the United States." So some portion of my middle school was spent in New Mexico, and I was leaving everything behind and moving to a whole new country at the age of 18. So I applied to the University of New Mexico, and because I was somewhat familiar and my family had friends here, so I knew that I wouldn't be all by myself, but I would kind of be like away from family because we all want to do that when we're 18. So I applied to UNM, and I knew I wanted to study international something. So I chose international studies. And throughout this like entire time at UNM, I was very interested in participating in the local community and being a member of the community. And I heard about Global Ties on my either second or third year. And I was like, this looks so cool. Like, State Department, you got world leaders coming through the city. And like, I wanted to be part of it so bad. But because of the small funding, we still to this day don't offer funding for internships. And at that time, again, I was by myself in this country, paying my own rent, paying my own tuition. I had two separate jobs. I just didn't really have time to contribute as a student. But I always, was looking at their newsletters and going to their events, like holiday parties, things that wouldn't have to pay for as, kind of a minority student. So I decided to leave after I completed my master's program. And at the same time, I realized that Global Ties Albuquerque was hiring. So I sent in an application and I lived like right around the corner from the office. So I would like go and look in to see if, anybody was there because my executive director, she was all by herself when I was applying and she was doing everything by herself. So now that I'm in this position, I understand the depth of the work. So high school in Turkey is totally different from high school in the United States. So I might not be the best example, but I really remember those days where it was very influential to make relationships and build those relationships with your teachers, with your friends, and to have like a really nice support system for when you're feeling down or when you need help. Like it's never easy to ask for help, but it's always nice to know that there's people there for you who are always going to support you. And I stick to that for my whole life. Like I said, we don't offer currently at Global Ties, we still don't offer financial aid for our interns, but I think building those relationships with your community, with your, coworkers and having that professional development is very important. You're never alone. You always have some people who are very there for you. And I would say take it slow and trust yourself because life is long. I rushed to finish my college degree, to finish my master's degree, and there are a lot of expectations from, the job market out there. And I always recommend like listen to your gut and see what you want to contribute to the world and see what you can contribute to the world. Don't let go of your hobbies, but like also try to match your hobbies to your skills and how that can help your community.